Alright, welcome to Retro Bikes Dublin, and today we're looking at a Kawasaki GPX600R. 1988 model, was a 1 year model only I believe, and then from 1989 to 93 they made a second version of this. This one has an aftermarket exhaust, I believe. That Nexus exhaust is aftermarket. It has twin front disc and a rear disc at the back. Produces in around 85 brake horsepower. 0 to 60 is quoted to be 3.7 seconds, so this is a very quick bike. Don't be fooled by the age of it. I think this bike came in this colour scheme, a red and a black, and another one I'm not too aware of. It came up against obviously the CBR 600 at the stage, and also the FZR 600 at that stage as well. But you can think back to 1988, which is before I was born, to have twin front discs, a rear disc, four cylinders, and twin cam. So when you get into higher revs, it's going to really hit. I think the max power output comes in around 11.5. Really super bike. It's been sitting here idling lovely. Started up for me straight away, bit of choke, and off we go. So very happy with that. So we're going to get on her, do our little trip that we were able to do. Bike is also water cooled too, so just to let you know, so it's not damaging the bike too much by letting her sit there without any wind going through her. But we'll take off here now. Nice and revvy bike. All the indicators, everything like that is working. We've tested. We'll show you that on the little walk around that we do. I'm going to turn off my indicator. Again, I'm going to turn right. We did do another video around this kind of area on the Honda Squash. I'm going to turn in right here. I'm going to do a few little tests here. I'm just going to test the brakes. So this is more of a bike. The Squash was a bike that we weren't looking to sell really. This one is for sale. So if you are interested, you can drop us a message. We're going to be selling it reasonably cheap. It is a trade-in. So front brake feels good, all the gears and everything feel good, back brake as well. Sounds good as well, in fairness to it. And as I said, it's not a slow bike. This is definitely a quick bike. 3.7 seconds 0 to 60 is nothing to snuff your nose up against. Again, take a turn. Sounds good. Sounds like typical Kawasaki revviness that you get. I know the Yamahas are similar, they're all in the top end, but this Kawasaki's have their kind of unique sound also. Getting stuck here, not used to the position of the gear shifter. Goes through all the gears and down the gears. Handles very nicely, really. I looked up the weight and it said something like 200 kilos or thereabouts. It really doesn't feel it on the bike at all. I'm turning left here, do a shoulder check, and we're going to be moving up to where we have our little run around. Alright, now we're at the walk around video. We're going to take a look at the bike in a bit more in depth. I think I've stated kind of all the stats you kind of want to know about the bike. Seating height wise as well, very comfortable. You shouldn't have any problems getting your feet flat on the ground, nearly no matter what height you are. Tyres then, rear tyre on it is virtually brand new. See, and the front tyre then also is in okay condition, doesn't need to be changed anyway. We'll run through the bike then from the rear, the front, and kind of have a look at it. So there's going to be marks on the bike. It's not by any means absolutely mint, but it isn't a stinker either. You can see all the marks and everything there. Chain, sprocket, Back wheel, side stand and main stand on this one. Engine area mark here on the plastics, as you can see, as well at the top. Tank has been painted as well. And go down the left hand side, GPX twin cam, so on. From forks seals as well are good. Had a look at them. Twin discs, and the pads itself are good too. Onto the right hand side of the bike, front mudguard here, marks, as you can see, front of the mudguard and the rear. In here is always going to be marks picking up rocks and so on. Scraping here on the right hand side of the fairings, similar kind of issue here on the right hand side with the fairings also. Underneath, a little bit of a crack here also where the exhaust exits. And here's the engine area, and there is the aftermarket exhaust. Tank on this right hand side has a dent in it here. Seat has no rips or tears. We'll go over that so the phone will focus. And the rear, and we'll go over the front of the bike, over the top. As you can see, little marks there on the tank, up to the top. Writing all still there and readable on the levers. A little bit of fading on the top here, and there's the clocks nice and clear, and the plastic at the front haven't gone yellowing, and same with the mirrors. That's our little GPX 600R. I think that'll do it for the walk around video, and we'll get back on the bike and ride her home. We're back on the bike and we're heading home. And one thing I like to say when I ride bikes, there's three main things that I look out for, that I want from my bike: looks, sound, and performance. They're the three things that kind of instill me onto buying bikes. I mean, there is a fourth one you can say, which is reliability. You don't want your bike to be breaking down all the time, but that's to be said with any vehicle that you buy. You don't want it to be utter garbage. I think the fact that it's made it here from 1988 is a good mark in its way. It shows that the engine is good, everything's lasted its time now, so there's no reason why it shouldn't last another 20 years or 25 years in the future. Looks wise, I think it has the classic look. If you look on the kind of Top Gun, there's a GPZ900, similar looking to that. Very nice looking bike. I think it's got the retro styling to it. And then finally sound, and I think the sound sounds great. I mean, I'm not going to be able to get up to any sort of major revs on the bike, just because I am in a little estate here. I mean, I can't go over really 50 kilometers an hour, but even under that, the bike does sound lovely. And then finally performance. I mean, 1988, you have a bike that can do 0 to 60 in under 4 seconds. You have a bike that's well able for the motorway at 600 cc's and a top speed of about 140 miles an hour. And then handling wise, it really does feel good to swing around corners, as you can see. And then obviously you have your speed. So they're the three things that I like to mark my bikes on, and one of those things that the newer bikes these days really lack on is sound, and a lot of times looks. You know, newer bikes, they have the performance there. A lot of them, the 600s, are crazy fast. You have to put an aftermarket exhaust on to make them sound anything but like a lawnmower. This bike has it all, and we're going to be marking it up at a very, very low price. So if you have liked the video and you are interested in the bike, or you do like this type of video style, please give it a like. Also comment down below, what do you think of this GPX600? Do you think it's better than the FZR or the CBR that came out in the same year? And finally, if you haven't already, subscribe.